What's going on, guys? It's Justin here from Bakugan, and today we're here to do a discussion, new type of video we're going to try to do. We're going to do a discussion on the best base stat Bakugan without Evo, but we are also going to be discussing those Bakugan's Evos. Taking into account this is without their Evo, we looked at the best base stats without Evo first. And then we applied, like, we're going to do a discussion on their Evos as a whole. Alright. So, for Ventus, we have Core Pegatrix. She is a Magic Shield, 300 base stat, 4 damage, with a 200 B power boost on a Magic Shield. We went with her. I went with her because she is not the best without an Evo, but she is very close. She's like 50 off from being the best without an Evo. I chose this one because her Evo is good. On top of, she gives you a Magic Shield, which, if you're doing the deck correctly, I've seen decks that run this and they do very well. But as far as that goes, I think she is our best Ventus base stated Bakugan. And this is one of the main reasons why she's so good. Her Evo is a 3-drop, 600 base stat with 6 damage, and she gains 1,000 B power off of that. I don't think there's much more to be said about Pegatrix. Do you have anything to throw in?
I mean, it's good because of the 3-drop. You can play it turn 1 if you open Super Fuel.
Yeah, I've seen it played in a lot of red decks. Which we're going to get into some meta discussions later on, but for now we're doing just what we think is the best. And we have some honorable mentions too, so what we think the second best could be.
Probably Ultra Green Serpentines, because the Evo replaces itself, and it does give you a Magic Shield.
Yeah, Ultra Green Serpentines is good, but for this video we chose Vicerox Ultra. He's double DNA, 500 B power, 200 on a DNA, plus 2 damage, and he already has a base damage of 2. So if you hit
500 minus 1.
Well, yeah, if you hit the 500 minus 1, this is a 1200.
With 3.
Yeah, with 3 damage, which is above Pony, but Pony is better because of her Evo.
Yeah.
Okay, so I also have the Evo pulled out for all these. So, this on an Evo is not that great because you're not gaining much. I've heard that 200 B power above or per energy is what everybody's been going by here. So if we go by that, he's at 5, 6, 7 with that 500 DNA. So he'd be at 12. And then we have 16, 21. So for the 6-drop, you're not really gaining much out of it.
Yeah.
That's the main reason we went with Pony over this, is because it's a 6-drop. I mean, yes, you do get a lot of damage, but damage normally doesn't win you games. We do have... Doesn't it have a better Evo coming out?
No.
Which one has a Evo comes out that lets you energize the top card of your deck?
That would be Ultra Green Scorpion.
Was it Scorpios?
Yeah, Scorpios. That would probably be the best green because of his Evo.
Yeah. Well, that's what we'll replace this after that. It'll probably replace everyone because it lets you energize the top card of your deck every time you open. So
yeah,
just run in Pyrus and Aquas. Just keep energizing up, and then you can resolve like Huge Knowledge and stuff like that.
Yep.
Moving on, we have Darkus. We chose Darkus Hydranoid. Hydranoid is a 800 base stat, 1 damage. If he lands on a red fist, he gets +3, and he is a red fist, green fist. Probably one of the best, darkest Bakugan in the game right now because of his base stat. And you normally run this in a Might deck because he has high damage on top. So he gets 7 damage turn 1 if you hit a red fist. And he's normally, I'd say I'd say he is the best, darkest for that reason. And his Evo is a 3-drop. You only gain 300.
200 B power.
Yeah, 200 B power.
But a lot of damage.
Yeah, you gain a lot of damage, but for what he does, I don't think his Evo is necessary.
Unless green is popular because of that Shadow Strike.
Yeah, I really don't think this Evo is necessary unless, green gains popularity. Because you're not gaining the B power boost necessary. You can just, I'm pretty sure most people that run this run. Don't you run blue in this? I think you would now.
With the Evo?
Well, no, I'm saying without the Evo. So, say you went. Tides just does this off a 1-drop. It gets you there.
Yeah. Normally it's dark and red because it's like a might build of some kind.
Yeah. For that, we are moving on to our second, what I think would be the second most used darkest based on base stat, and that is going to be Ilyas Ultra. He is also 800 base stat as long as you hit a DNA.
Yep.
So he's going to be, what, 1350?
Well, if we're talking about 300.
Yeah, right. No, he'd be at 13 with no damage.
Which,
I know a lot of people use the 500 neg 1.
Yeah. It's good in the terms that it stops you from taking damage.
It gives you a win, but it doesn't deal any damage. That's the biggest problem with it.
Yeah.
Until we get to its Evo. Now, its Evo is actually pretty decent.
It's, I think it's on curve, I believe.
6, 7, 8. So 8. No, it's 200. It's 1 off.
Okay,
but it's still really good because you get the damage, and that 500 shield or 500 DNA actually makes up for that.
Yep.
Because I know most people just run the 303, which I don't know. If I was going turn 1, I'd probably want to hit the 300 with 3 damage.
It depends.
I do like its Evo. I wanted to put Ilyas in here. It's just on base stat wise, he's not that great. Yes, once you Evo him, he's wonderful. But
yeah. You can make an argument for his figure is really good at catching 2 cores, but that's about it.
All right, moving on, we're going to move into probably the best 4 Bakugan in the game right now. With this being the 4th one, Tortonim is a double red fist, 200 plus 6 on a red fist, and he gains 5 damage. I do think this is probably the best Chaos Bakugan right now because of all the red fist decks running around. On top of that, his Evo is ridiculous. You get a 2-drop Evo that gains you I'm pretty sure it's 6, 7, 8.
So
he gains 400 or 500 B power over.
I think 600.
He doesn't give you much.
910, which is 1,000, and the 200. Yeah, that's 6 for 2.
Yeah, so you get. He's 200 above curve.
Yep.
Based on his drop.
Yep.
There again, the Evo isn't necessary, but I feel like moving into late game, you would want this, even though his damage doesn't go up much, but you do get 600 more B power, which could help you out late game. On to the honorable mention for Chaos. Couldn't mention Chaos without mentioning our boy Ilyas, who is a Magic Shield Red Fist. He is on the same curve as Tortonim, only on Evo. Yeah. And obviously his Evo is a little ridiculous. He is 1,000, not in counting the magic shield. So he's 1,000. And you get to nab a core on the field, which if your opponent's playing like Red Fist, you can nab a core and he gains that +4 damage. Or if your opponent's playing, I have seen some cheeky plays where you nab like a Green Fist and then Holy Flame him, which there's multiple different little things you can do with this. He's normally for Might decks though, because he has high damage. I think my buddy Ethan was talking about where he was in the tournament that we were playing in. He would turn 2 Midas Indius for 12 damage because he'd hit his +6 damage core.
Yep.
So it's interesting. Now moving into, these two are tied for the best Bakugan, but we're going to lead off with this one because of its Evo. Nobilius I would put at the 3rd best Bakugan in the game just because of his Evo.
Yeah.
He is a Magic Shield Red Fist, 500 B power plus 200 B power with the 2 damage. He's really good. Turn like leading off team. You're not team attacks, but leading off your team in a battle. In most cases, if you're not running the best Bakugan in the game, this is what you would lead off into a battle with. His Evo is not that great, but it can make up for itself late game. Because you are running Pyrus, you can hit it off of Super Fuel or Song of Fire. If you're running that kind of a build, which they most run Super Fuel, but most do not run Song of Fire. I was playing this at a 1-of. After playing the deck, it is completely not necessary. I would not run this Evo at all, but that's just me. And we can't mention Pyrus without mentioning Drago. Drago Ultra is probably the next best Pyrus Bakugan as far as stat-wise goes. He has 2 Evos in the game. He has 500 B power, 5 damage, Magic Shield Red Fist. His first Evo we're going to talk about is the one that most people run. I have experimented with this Evo, which I really like. A lot of people don't like it, but there was a deck that I ran that ran Dan and Air Zeros and stuff, and for the most part, you would normally get this out at some point during late game, and it would normally win because you lead in with him for a team attack. He leads in with 24 if you don't have any cards in hand. But outside of that, Drago's Drago. Alright, for blue, Kubo. This is a proxy because I don't have one. Aqua's Kubo is one of the newer Bakugan that came into the game recently. But for the most part, he is the same base stat as Nobilius. If he hits a Red Fist or Magic Shield, he's the same.
But 3 more damage.
Yeah, he's got 3 more damage. And I really like his Evo. His Evo is a 2-drop. It puts him at 1750. But the biggest part about this, I really like running this at normally a 2-of just because late game you need that extra B power to push in. It is, I'm pretty sure, on curve.
Yeah, it is.
It's right on curve.
Plus 200, plus 200.
Yeah. So it's not that bad. And then for the next Aquas, I put Hydranoid Ultra as the second best Aquas Bakugan in the game because of his base stat. Like I said before, we're going mainly on base stat here. He's 800. Well, not he's 1,050 on.
So yeah, 8, 9, yeah, 1,050.
So he's 9. Yeah, He's 1,050 on a Green Fist, so he only has 1 damage, but the Green Fist gives you +2.
So 3.
And he would go great in just about any Chaos deck because most of the Chaos builds run 50. With 8 damage and plus the 3 you get off the Red Fist.
Yeah.
So most people aren't running Hot Potato and stuff because you run this in a blue deck and a red deck. So you're just going to roll him right back out and hit another Red Fist. So like Hot Potato and stuff is really good against the against him, but also it's really bad against him because of the decks that he has ran in. But as an individual, Hot Potato would wreck this guy.